Hello dear friends. So today we are going to start our second chapter, the silver lining, okay? And it is written by Chaman Nahar. So in previous class we have discussed some paragraphs and I hope that you have understood all that paragraph and you have written word meaning also. So do hard work and go with the all paragraphs and try to understand all the word meanings and the gist of this story. It's what the story is conveying message. Okay. So I just want to give you a small recap of this chapter. Means paragraphs, whatever I have explained in previous classes. Okay. So actually, you know what? It is all about humans' emotions. Okay, that nobody can justify or rectify. Means about others' emotions, means how they are happy or they are sad. We cannot understand by their physical appearance. Physical appearance we can understand if a person is smiling. So it doesn't matter that that person is happy. If a person is if a person is very sad, it doesn't matter that he is sad or she is sad. Maybe he is very happy. So it is what it is all about emotions. We cannot justify with the help of their physical appearance. Okay, and it is very difficult to assess the range of emotions of human being. So here the writer Chaman he just went somewhere. So actually he was just advised to go there and visit that place. Means one of his friend only. He said that you should go there, and instead of going another hotel, he just advised that you should go for that hotel because that hotel, whatever the facilities are there, that is very nice. And the main thing is what hospitality of that hotel, hostess and landlord, they all were very nice. It is described, and it is also described about that hotel's situation is where the hotel was situated. It is very close to the market, very close to the post office, very close to the bus stand, means very close, means you can say that it was the center of that city. Okay, and in morning and in evening you can see the you can have a very beautiful views from that hotel. So when he reached there, according to his friend, as he was advised, so when he reached there, so he found that place was really, it was like that. So he was welcomed by a woman, Mrs. Mandari, okay, and she belonged to South, and as you know that it is mentioned here that she was not fair, she was having a dark, physical appearance, she was dark, but she was having a very beautiful smile on her face, very pleasant, very honest, very polite. And here the her husband belonged to the North India, and it is described about that it is a very big difference if we compare to the people who are living in North India. He was just different from that people who are living there, that area. So when he was there, so Mrs. Bandari, who was a hostess, and she welcomed him very warmly, and he took his suitcase, all that thing. So he just she offered a cup of coffee, and while they were having a chat, so in this way they were just talk like that. He was not a stranger, not a strange people. He was just like he was a member of his family only. So till here I have explained. So I will explain from here, open page number 30. Okay, so let's have a explanation of this paragraph. Okay, while thus chatting with the two of them, I became aware of the slightly built girl hiding behind the settee. So here settee means a small sofa. Settee is small sofa. So, what the author just want to tell here, while just chatting with the two of them, means when he was talking with the landlord, means Mr. Bhandari and Mrs. Bhandari, when he was talking with them, so at the same time, one more person was there who attracted him. And how attracted, let's see, I became aware of the slightly built girl hiding behind the city. Means he just noticed that somebody is just hiding. You can also notice if somebody is just means you are talking with someone and a person who is just somewhere else and he is looking, or he or she is just looking to you. You can understand that somebody is just noticing you. So here this writer also understood that somebody was there who was not before him, but somebody was there. And who was that? A small girl who was just trying to hide herself where? Behind the small sofa. Okay? She must have been about 8. Means she was just like 8 years old. Okay? She must have been about 8 and was sweet and charming like her mother. Now she compared that as her mother was sweet, charming and very polite, she was also like her mother. Here like is what? Simile, okay, where we can compare two things, okay. So she must have been about 8 and was sweet and charming like her mother. So here, in this paragraph, the writer is just trying to make us understand that who was there, one more person instead of two. Two means Mr. Bhandari and Mrs. Bhandari, okay. They were there and he was talking with them. But now one more person was there who was just trying to hide herself behind the small sofa. And she was just 8 years old and looking like her mother, as charming and beautiful and very polite. Her dress was closely cropped with a straight fringe across the forehead in Chinese fashion. Okay, now he is describing about her physical appearance and dressing sense. Okay, her physical appearance and dressing sense, as he explained about her mother and her father, that how they were looking. Okay, so what he said, that her hair was closely cropped. Her hair was closely cropped, means it was just trimmed. Crop means trim, crop. C-R-O-P means trim. Crop means trim, okay. So it was cropped. Her hair was closely cropped with a straight fringe across the forehead. Means what? Just like from here. I mean, this picture also you can see that how she was looking. Her hair was just cropped, means it was just trimmed from her, means it was just looking like from the forehead, across the forehead, and it was a Chinese fashion. She was in jeans and in her half-sleeved loose jersey and high boots, looked a miniature jungle queen. Okay. As you know that fringe is boundary. Okay, so her hair was there. It was just boundary. Okay. Now, here miniature means also small. Okay. Also small. So she was in jeans and in her half-sleeved loose jersey and high boots, looked, I mean, your jungle queen, means now how she was looking. She was just like, means her dressing sense tells us that she was not a normal girl. She was just like a jungle queen, as her physical appearance speaks, means as her dressing sense speaks. How she was. She wore jeans and she wore half-sleeved loose jersey also, and high boots. High boots means it is just not like a normal shoes, it is just high boots. looked a miniature gentleman, but she was behaving a bit too timidly forward and was trying to avoid me. Means here, timid means we can take it as a shy. She was feeling shy. Okay. Now, but she was behaving a bit too timid forward. Means just like what? She was just behaving like a she was shy, okay, and was trying to avoid me. As was means what? She was just trying to avoid means you can understand that if strange people come to your house, so definitely you will also try to avoid that people. So here she also tried. As that people, that author, that writer was new for her. Okay. I could not help smiling as he noticed. So he could not help smiling, means he smiled. I saw that she was staring at me, means he noticed that she was just looking to him. She was just looking to him. Then I said, means the writer asked her, what's your name? And beckoned to her to come to me. Beckon means wave. Beckon means wave. As you know that if somebody is just hiding somewhere, so we say come like that, okay? Hi, hello, like that. So beckon means move. So he asked her, what's your name? So by waving her, means he was just calling to her. The girl became immediately self-conscious, shook her head and stood where she was. As you know that she was hiding herself behind the small sofa, okay, and she thought that nobody is noticing her. But here the writer was noticing her, and when he understood that there was a one girl who was trying to hide herself behind the small sofa, so he waved his hand and he asked that, what's your name, baby? What's your name? So she just means what? Immediately she became what? Self-conscious. Means she understood that she could not hide herself. Sorry. That somebody is calling her. Shook her head and stood where she was. And actually, you know what? She was just hiding herself behind the sofa. But now he noticed. So he waved his hand and then he just called her. And she stood where she was hiding herself. I called once more. Hello, come here, dear. The writer called her once more. Hello, come here. My dear, come here. She blushed and again shook her head. Means you know what? As she was 8 years old, so she was shy. So she blushed and again shook her head. After a second, she ran out. After a second, she ran out. She ran away from there. I thought I saw tears in her eyes. As the writer thought about that moment, he just thought that maybe in her eyes tear was there. Okay, maybe means he just thought that tears was there in her eyes. I suddenly became aware of an awkward pause in the room, and turning to look at the Bandaris, I discovered that both of them were frowning and painful look on their faces. Mr. Bandari squeezed the arm of his wife and said apologetically, I'm sorry, Mr. Danda. You see, our daughter cannot hear anything nor speak. That's why she didn't come to you. Now understood. I think now you got the point. Actually, you know that she was hiding herself behind the small sofa, and at that moment the writer called her, but she didn't come to him. And why she didn't come to him? What was the reason? The reason was only what? She could not speak and she could not hear also. Means deaf and dumb. She was deaf and dumb. Okay. So I suddenly became aware, means when this incident happened, so he just understood that what was the reason why she ran away why she ran out from that place. I suddenly became aware of an awkward pause in the room. Means there was silence in the room when he called her. When the writer called her, so at that moment there was completely silent for a pause, for a moment. Okay, turning and to look at the Bantaris, when he turned to them, when the writer turned to them, so he understood that what was the matter. Means what happened with her, why she ran out. So what he found that they all were, means they both were, I discovered that both of them were frowning, a painful look on their faces. Means something was there, they were not happy. Now you can understand here. The first paragraph tells that means we cannot judge, we cannot rectify, we cannot justify, we cannot understand. It is very difficult to find, means it is very difficult to assess the range of what? Human emotions. Okay, here actually you know what? Their daughter who could not hear, who could not speak, both things. So definitely they will be very sad. They will be very, very what in painful. So here what I discovered then that both of them were frowning, a painful look on their face. Means he found that they were in pain. And what was the pain? The pain was only that their daughter was deaf and dumb. Means who could not listen, who could not speak. Okay. So Mr. Bandari squeezed the arm of his wife and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Mr. Bandari." Now, when this incident happened, so her father apologized to the guest, the writer, because as you know that he was welcomed very warmly, but this incident it was the embarrassed for them. So because of that only he apologized. Okay. You see, our daughter cannot hear anything nor speak. That's why she did not come to you. And now they told the reason why she didn't come to him. Why she didn't come to him, as he called her 2 times. I gasped and muttering something about being sorry. I became confused and did not know what more to say, for I was feeling ashamed at my forwardness with a child who was obviously not in a position to respond to my approaches of friendship. I vaguely felt I had wronged her and her parents. Now here, the writer also felt sorry. The writer also felt sad. The writer also felt very, very bad for her, for himself also, because as he approaches to his friendship with that girl, but what happened? Let's see. I gasped and muttering something about being sorry. I gasped and muttering something means he just spoke something. He just spoke something means he was just feeling sorry at that moment. He could not understand that what should he do at that moment, because as he didn't know about that she was able to speak and listen. So he was also feeling very sad. So he became confused and didn't know what more to say. He became confused that what to say next, what to say, because before that he was just trying to speak, he was just trying to friendship with that girl, but now he became very confused and he didn't have anything to speak there. For I was feeling ashamed at my forwardness with a child who was obviously not in a position to respond to my approaches of friendship. Now he was feeling ashamed. He was feeling ashamed and feeling sorry and feeling very bad, because why? Because he forwarded. He forwarded means why he forwarded? He just wanted to become of his friend, of her friend. He just wanted her friendship. But he could not understand that that girl was not in the position of what? To speak, to listen, to understand that he was trying to become her friend. I vaguely felt I had wronged her and her parents, and now he felt very bad at that moment. Why did he feel about this thing? Because you know what? He just thought that everything is normal. When he entered there, so he was welcomed very warmly. He was welcomed very warmly, and everybody thought, everybody was, means he was just taking not as a stranger, he was just taking like what member of his member of that family. So he was very friendly at that moment. So he just thought that everything is normal, everything is going very well. So he just wanted to know about herself. So he just took the step to become her friend. But what happened? What happened? As you know that she could not listen, she could not hear, she could not speak, and she ran away. When she ran away, so he just thought that something happened. But when he came to know about the reason why did she run away from there, he came to know. So he thought about that moment that he did wrong. He wronged at that moment. He wronged at that moment, not with the girl, with her parents also. Indirectly, he just what? He just does the heart of their parents. Indirectly, he just what he felt about the feeling of her parents. Indirectly. So because of that, he was feeling ashamed, and because of that only, he was just trying to doing the right thing to cope up with this all the situation. Okay. So next paragraph I'll explain in next class, because it is a very long paragraph, and we will continue with this. And I hope that you are getting all the points. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Okay. So very simple. I am just going to summarize it. Summarize it means whatever I have explained in this class, I just want to summarize it. Okay. So in this class, what happened that when he was just talking with the two persons, Mr. Bhandari and Mrs. Bhandari, so he found that one more person was there that was trying to hide herself behind the small sofa, and that was the daughter of Mrs. Bhandari and Mr. Bhandari. Okay. So she was just trying to hide herself, and she was looking like a general queen. Because why? Because her physical appearance and dressing sense, it was just like a queen only. Now means her head, means her hairstyle was just adopted the Chinese fashion, and jeans and half sleeve clothes, means jersey also. So and high boots also. She was just looking like that. So he attracted with that girl. Okay. So he called her. So first of all, she was just trying to avoid him. Then again, she just became conscious. Okay. So she stood where she was sitting. She stood. Then again, he called. Hello, what's your name? Come here. Hello, come here. So that time she ran away from there. Now she felt something. Means he felt something that wrong with her. So he just looked. He just turned to Mr. Bhandari and Mrs. Bhandari. So he got to understand that he got the reason. He just found the reason that why she ran away from there. They told that their daughter could not speak, their daughter could not hear anything, and this was the reason that she ran away from there. So at that moment, her parents became also very sad, and at that moment, the writer also became very sad, because he just thought that he did something wrong with her and with her parents. So we will continue with the next paragraph in next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye.